Hello, I'm Alexis and welcome to my week 4 SPOOKOPLATHON reading vlog. So we are starting this week off looking like a mess because I am on my way out to the gym. But first, we need to pick what I'm reading today. I usually like to listen to audiobooks while I'm working, but today was so busy, I did not even have a chance to pick one out. So we are going to go roll the dice and get our next SPOOKOPLATHON prompt and hope that it works for an audiobook we have. So let's go do that. So the last prompt we landed on was community shelf, and I ended up completing this in last week's vlog. If you didn't watch that yet, it'll be linked below. So now it's time to roll for our next prompt. Okay, we got a 7. So that brings us to the cauldron space. So let's look up what that means. Okay. So according to Becca's guide, the cauldron space means gather your ingredients, a book containing more than one of your favorite tropes. Okay, I think I can work with this. So I do have a book in mind that I really want to read next because my hold just became available from the library. And I literally thought it was going to be months for me to get this, but I have the audiobook and I want to start it. So we're going to make it work. We Used to Live Here by Marcus Kleiwer. I hope I'm not pronouncing that too awfully. So this one says it's Get Out meets Parasite in this eerily haunting debut and Reddit hit, soon to be a Netflix movie, about two homeowners whose lives are turned upside down when the house's previous residents unexpectedly visit. So it's about a couple, they're flipping the house and this family shows up and says that they used to live there and they're asking if they can look around and show the kids the house. So after they let them in, uncanny and inexplicable things start happening, including the family's youngest child going missing and a ghostly presence materializing in the basement. All right, we're doing it. So first of all, it mentions two of my favorite movies ever, Get Out and Parasite. It has to do with a haunted house, potentially with some unreliable characters. I don't trust this family and I feel like they are not telling the whole truth. This is also reminding me a lot of... what is that book called? It was a Netflix movie. People didn't really like the book, but I really liked the book. Leave the World Behind. Yes. I really like that book. And this sounds like a really similar premise. And it just deals with the question of, do we really trust these people? Because I want to be a good person and let them in if they're telling the truth. But what if they're not? And I'm the dumb one for letting them in. And I'm not doing the right thing by protecting myself. So yes, I love stories having to deal with that theme, that trope. I guess it's a trope, right? So yeah, I think this is going to be great. So with that, I'm going to head off to the gym. And then yeah, it's a chill Monday night, so I will have lots of time to read, and we'll probably roll another prompt when I get back to pick my physical book. I'm back home now, and I'm making dinner real quick before I shower, but I had to check in and let you know that I am obsessed with We Used to Live Here. Let me check how far I got. I got 30% of the way in. Like, I need to know what happened. It's taking so much self-control to not just binge this entire thing right now, but I have other things I need to do tonight. So tomorrow while I'm working, I don't care how busy I am, I'm listening to this book. So in this, we start out just like the synopsis tells us. We have this young woman. She moves into this new house. Her and her girlfriend. Wow, what is my bang doing? I need to wash my hair. Ignore that. Her and her girlfriend, they fix up houses, they flip them, sell them, all that stuff. So that's what they're planning to do with this house. And there's a knock on the door one night as our main character Eve is home alone, and it's this family. And right away, like, me and Eve, we are connecting. We are thinking all the same thoughts. So she's a very anxious person, and she's right away like, there's no way. I'm not letting these people in. Like, yeah, they're probably not going to kill me because they literally have 3 kids with them. But like, you never know. But the other thing about Eve is she's a people pleaser. Again, me and her. Same person. So she's like, she doesn't want to say no. So she tries to tell them that like her girlfriend wouldn't like it. She's on her way home soon. And like the family's not giving her a hard time. But as the family is turning to leave, there's a little girl and like she's visibly upset because she really wanted to see where her dad grew up for some reason. So Eve decides to let them in. And right away, I'm like, are you stupid? I just have a really bad feeling about them. Like, again, I don't care if they have kids with them. It could be an act. They could all be actors in on something, or maybe they like threaten the kids to pretend to be a family. I don't know what they want with her in this house, but I have bad feelings about it. So everything seems normal. They're taking a tour of the house until they get to the basement. And the dad of the family, Thomas, is like, oh, something. I used to do something down in the basement. Can we go look? And Eve's like, well, no, there's no electricity down there. There's a bunch of tools. Just like, no, haven't you seen enough? So he's like, you're right, totally fine. We'll leave. And they go to leave and they turn around and the little girl, Jenny, is gone. And the family's like, oh, Jenny, she's so silly. She likes to play hide and seek. Like, what? Not okay. So it turns out Jenny found the dumbwaiter and she let herself into the basement. So Eve and Thomas go down into the basement, and again, it's dark. They have flashlights. It's super dirty and cluttered down there, and they find her, but like they can't reach her. So Thomas is like, well, let's just wait it out, wait for her to get tired, and she'll come upstairs. Like, again, are you kidding? This does not seem like normal behavior. So I don't even know how Eve was like calm and okay with it. Like, she wasn't okay with it. She didn't really know like what else to do besides agree with the family. So they go upstairs. Her girlfriend Charlie gets home. They're having dinner and this storm is rolling in. So already you know where it's going, that the family is going to need an excuse to stay the night because they can't drive in the storm. Just bad vibes. I don't trust them. I don't trust them at all. Like, this is really weird. Why are you here? So then the other thing about Eve is she, like I said, is a very anxious person. And she actually, like, as a therapy technique, she has personified her anxiousness and calls it Mo. And in the audiobook, Mo has like a kind of deep, creepy voice. I'm liking it. And I know it's supposed to be kind of a negative thing, but like, honestly, Mo is making some good points. So yeah, that's where we are. Oh, and Thomas just forgot to mention, until they are all trapped there for the night, that he thinks the house is haunted and maybe even by a demon or the devil. We learned that his parents were super, super religious, and just like in answer to everything, like Thomas sleepwalks. And the reason is it's a demon. And something bad happened to Thomas's sister while she was living in this house. And the parents said it was the devil. So we don't know all of the details yet. We're obviously gonna get there, but like, what do you mean? What do you mean? How nice of you to now mention this all, that it's the middle of the night and they're trapped there because of a snowstorm. I'm loving it. The vibes are so spooky so far, and like, I just can't wait. I don't trust them at all, and I'm so excited. So that's that update. And then I did pick what my physical read for the night is going to be, and that is going to be The Devil in Silver by Victor LaValle. I'm super excited for this one. This was on like my most anticipated TBR list for the month. I'll tell you more about it once I get into it, but I'm planning on reading that on my Kindle after I finish up dinner. So I'm gonna go eat now, and I will talk to you later. Hello and happy Tuesday, friends. Wow, this lighting is making my hair look straight purple. Yeah, in person, it's not this vibrant, but I actually just got back from the salon. They put a gloss on my hair because last week when we dyed it, the color just wasn't as deep as we wanted it because it was going over such light blonde hair. So she told me I could come in this week. So I did that this morning, and I think it looks good in person. Wow, I can't believe how purple it's showing on camera. That's interesting. It'll obviously fade after a few washes, but yeah, it really doesn't look that different in person. Anyways, the point of this update was not to talk about my hair. It was to give you an update because I've been listening to more of We Used to Live Here while working today, and I am still eating this story up. I don't even know what I think is happening. Like, I guess I have a theory, but like, it doesn't even make sense to me. I don't know what I'm reading, but I'm loving it. So along with our present day story of the new homeowners and the family that shows up there and like won't leave, we are also getting these little snips of like documents between the chapters. And most of the time, the point of these documents isn't super clear. Like in the beginning, for an example, there was like a poster for a dog for sale. And like now it makes sense that we got farther in and we learned more about this dog. But like at the time, like it was kind of out of nowhere. But still, we're getting these extra documents and like I'm trying so hard to think how they could possibly relate to what's going on. And I'm so confused. I'm loving it, but I'm confused. Things are escalating a little bit. Everybody is acting very, very strange. I still do not trust this family at all. It's just suspicious. It's a little suspicious that you won't leave. And then I do really, really want to trust our main character, Eve, but I'm starting to get to the point where I'm thinking she might be an unreliable narrator. Like, are all these things really happening the way she's telling us they are? Or is it in her head? Is she making it up? I don't know. We had a creepy encounter with some neighbors, so that was really interesting. And then something weird is going on with Eve's partner, Charlie. So just a lot of questions, but like it's done well that like, although I am a little confused, I'm more intrigued to see what's gonna happen. Like, okay, I can compare it to Dead 11 because that's another book that I just read where I was confused the entire time. But that was like an annoying confused because like nothing was being answered. This is like they are very purposely keeping information from us, and I hope it's going to be revealed in time, whereas that didn't happen with Dead 11. I just stayed confused until a very, very disappointing reveal at the end. This one, like, I can't wait to see what happens. It's almost 5 o'clock now, so I'm gonna work for just a little bit longer because I did take an hour this afternoon to go get my hair done. And then we have some errands to run tonight. Although it is Tuesday, we are not going to see a movie. There's just nothing that I'm dying to see, and I think I would rather stay home and spend the time reading. And I'm just hoping I can finish this one and finally get some answers.
Me in 10 years? The theme is me in 10 years. Oh, what? Oh.
Hello again. I know it looks like I haven't moved all night, and that is mostly true. Also, I have to be a little quiet because Dan is on the other side of this wall sleeping, but I wanted to check in real quick before I completely finish the audiobook for We Used to Live Here. I am currently on 86%. I am listening to it on my iPad while I am working on my November bullet journal spread. I'm just doing the rough sketches so that tomorrow I can actually film drawing the whole thing in marker and coloring it in and all that stuff. And that will be up before this one. So if you missed it, I'll link it below. But yeah, this book is the biggest mindfuck, but like in the best way possible. I am loving my time. I don't know what's going on. I'm so confused, but in the best way. It's definitely a psychological horror book. Like, I do not know who to believe. I don't know who to trust. And more than that, there's been genuinely creepy scenes. There's some shadow figures. I don't even know how to describe them because are they ghosts? Are they real people? Are they a figment of this person's imagination? I don't know, but the descriptions of them are creepy. I am going to try and stay up and finish this now. It's getting a little late, but I don't have too much left. So either way, I'll let you know my final thoughts when I do end up finishing it. There are real tears in my eyes because of how creepy that ending was. Oh my god. Absolutely 5 stars. Are you kidding? God, I can't even function right now. That exactly what I said earlier. That is a mindfuck of a book. I'm really, really creeped out. Wow, incredible. Like, my mind is too blown right now to like actually make sense, but just that was so much better than I was expecting. I need a copy of it immediately. I want to like reread so many parts to connect the dots, because at the end it did all come together, but like now I gotta go back and be like, was it there from the beginning? Like, that was like the perfect mix of like creepy horror elements and then like psychological thriller. Like, just, it had me guessing until the very last sentence what was going on, what was going to happen. And I still have questions, but like the good kind of questions, like a book that leaves you thinking after and not like confused and annoyed that nothing was answered. Dude, I'm so like hyped up right now. It's 1 a.m. I need to go to bed. But like, how do I go to bed after an ending like that? The reveal at the end was such a creepy element and like terrifying. Like, oh my God. I'm not making any sense. But yeah, if you were thinking of picking this book up, 100% do it. Like, you saw the tears in my eyes. That's real fear. I need to go to bed. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that now. Hopefully I can sleep. Excuse me. Can you come sit? Oh no, you're typing things. Okay. Good morning. Sorry about the appearance. I literally just woke up. So you might be saying, that's not one of your normal cats. And you would be correct. So my problem is, if I see a stray cat outside and it's friendly, I will bring it inside. She is just the loveliest girl there's ever been. And it was cold and raining and she hung around our house all day. So I thought it was time to bring her in. I did post her on a lost and found group. When she first came around yesterday morning, I did put a paper collar around her neck with our phone number, and I just said, like, is this your cat? She's visiting me, let me know. And nobody has contacted me. When she came back yesterday evening, the collar was gone though, so I feel like she might have ripped it off somewhere. We took her to the vet to get scanned for a microchip. She's not registered to anybody. So while there is still chance she's somebody's like indoor-outdoor cat, I feel like the chances are low because unfortunately there are so many stray cats in my neighborhood. But yeah, she is super, super friendly. So like, I don't think she's feral. Like, maybe she was somebody's. I don't know. So I'm gonna keep my eye out, see if anybody claims her. But because we really don't have the room for this cat, she is living in my office right now, and I have the other animals locked out, and they are very upset about it. Mainly because we don't know if she's sick and we don't want her to get the other animals sick. She did have fleas on her when we brought her in, but we combed them all off and we gave her some flea medicine. So I haven't seen any since then. She just also doesn't like the other cats. Like, they've sniffed each other through the door and she always hisses and stuff. So like, she could potentially get used to them and be okay with them. But like, also, I'm not trying to keep this cat. So she really doesn't need to be friendly with my cats. She just needs a place to stay for right now. So my friend is interested. He might be able to take her while we wait for an owner to claim her. And then if nobody does, he'll just keep her because he was thinking of getting a cat. And she is literally the sweetest thing ever. Like, if we had the room, I would absolutely keep her, but can't. So yeah, she just wants to cuddle. She is so sweet. She's like aggressively sweet. If I stop petting her, she'll get on my desk and like headbutt me. So that's what you missed yesterday when we didn't talk at all. But also, I got 50% of the way into The Devil in Silver by Victor LaValle. Finally started the audiobook for it while I was working. And then I switched to the ebook last night. And I'm really enjoying it. It's just a lot different than what I was expecting. So this one is about a man named Pepper. And one night, he gets into a fight with 3 men who he later discovers were plainclothes cops. So he's arrested for assaulting these police officers, which is totally unfair because they never said they were police officers and they were wearing normal clothes. So like, literally, how is he supposed to know? So he gets arrested, and because the cops don't want to work overtime, like it's the end of their shift, instead of doing like all the official paperwork to arrest him that night, they take him to a psychiatric hospital and put him on a 72-hour mental hold. Though literally why there's no evidence he should be here. Total bullshit is what I'm getting at. So he gets to this hospital and he's checked in, and the conditions are pretty bad, but it's not like the worst imaginable. So his 72 hours come and go, and he is not being released. And he's like, what is going on? I'm not supposed to be here. And they just keep coming up with reasons to keep him longer. Like the doctor's like, well, you're not mentally stable. You have this personality disorder, this, and this. Like complete excuses. And then also the super scary thing is they're forcing him to take medication, an antipsychotic and a mood stabilizer. And like, why? What is his diagnosis? What is the reason for drugging this man? And it makes him super, super sluggish. There's like this whole section where it takes him 15 minutes to walk down a hallway because like he just can't move his legs. And literally this is like one of my biggest fears, just like having your autonomy taken away, locked up. You can't make any decisions on your own. You're being told what to do, being forced to take this medicine that you're not even diagnosed for the correct thing. Like, this is all terrifying. And the fact that he can't leave, like they're making him stay there. So that's what's going on so far. The section I read last night, something actually really sad happened. So yeah, that really bummed me out. And so that was the end of part 2. So I think for the second half of the book, like it's going to shift and it's going to be more about this thing that happened. So the thing is, when I heard about this book, it was pitched as like he's locked in this mental hospital, but there's this creature that torments the patients there. And this creature sounds super, super creepy. Like it's literally on the cover of the edition I'm reading. It's this old man with the head of a bison. And he's like killing the patients. But at this point in the book, there's only been like 1 or 2 mentions of him. Like he is definitely not as big a part of the story as I was expecting him to be. When I picked this up, I really thought that that was going to be the horrific element. But it really isn't. It's like a background thing. So I'm a little disappointed in that. I really don't know if it's that I had the wrong expectation of that being a bigger part of the story, or like I feel like it was mentioned pretty heavily in the synopsis. And for something that's barely mentioned in the actual story, I don't know. So I am enjoying it, but I feel like I would be enjoying it more if this bison-headed creature was a bigger part of it. It's a little later, obvious by my now put together face. I had coffee, so I'm feeling a lot more awake. Part 2, I was taking notes because I didn't want to check in until the end of the part, but I was having thoughts. So a little bit of a love story is introduced in this part, in this section, which I wasn't expecting. And I feel like it's really becoming more of an important story than just this like creepy bison-headed thing that I was expecting. I think it is veering more into like social commentary, talking about like real important issues, just like how we treat those who are mentally ill, and especially facilities like this that treat them so badly and like nobody cares. So in this part, we meet a female character, Sue, and they end up falling in love. It's pretty cute. It was fine. I'm one of those people who just doesn't really need a love story in my horror books. Like, it didn't annoy me the way that it does a lot of time with other stories, and I liked her character. I like where it's going. She kind of made Pepper realize that, like, bad things were happening in this place. So her whole thing is she collects newspaper clippings of just bad things that have happened in other mental hospitals, of people dying from being mistreated, from being ignored, that kind of stuff. And she carries around like this whole folder with these clippings. And he's like asking her, why are you doing this? And she's like, well, I need evidence. And it's really telling us that even though she's probably not going to make it out of this situation, she's just trying to make a difference. She thinks if she can collect all this evidence of people being mistreated, maybe something will change one day. It did end on just like the wildest thing that I did not expect to happen, and I'm pretty sad again. Like, this book is definitely heartbreaking. You know, I was expecting it to be kind of fun with this like creature feature type thing, but it's really not that. It's a lot more like The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. It's hard hitting. It's this real thing. It's this real life horror that we're reading about. So yeah, those are my thoughts for now. I'm gonna keep going. How many parts is this thing? Okay, it's just 2 more parts, and part 4 actually looks really, really short. It's currently Friday, so I'm really trying to wrap this vlog up today because tomorrow is the start of Vampathon, and I have big plans. I want a fresh vlog starting tomorrow where we will be reading all of the vampire books. So yeah, it'd be super, super cool if I could finish this one up today. So that's my plan, and I'll talk to you in a little bit. Hello, I'm back again, and I have just finished the book. I have also just finished my lunch break. That's why we have the location change. I'm struggling. I wrote down this huge note trying to figure out my thoughts on the end of this book, and I really don't know what to tell you because I am confused. So the main thing is I really wasn't expecting to come out of this book like loving these characters so much. Victor LaValle definitely made me feel things for these characters. Like I thought this was going to be just a fun little horror story, and it wasn't. It was so much more than that, so much more important than that. It's one of those horror books that is just so important, so much more than just like reading it to be entertained for a fun time. It's like social commentary, and it's a heavy topic, and it's something I wasn't expecting going into it. So that would be my biggest recommendation, is if you are going into this, do your research first. Like I did not. I was expecting a creature feature, and as we know, that is not what I ended up getting. So I'm very confused by the ending. I feel like this is the type of book that really has to be read slowly. I could have really benefited from reading this physically and really analyzing everything that was happening. I would be interested to watch other people's reviews on it and kind of get explained what happened, because I feel like there's things I'm missing. So unfortunately, I don't have too much to really go into because I don't understand what I just read in those last two parts. But I think I am gonna go with a 4-star rating. I think I really enjoyed the parts that I did understand. I really enjoyed the social commentary and the fact that he was able to make me really feel for these characters. Like, as such a character-driven reader, that automatically gets a higher rating from me. So, well, I go collect my thoughts about that book, and that's definitely one that I'm gonna think about for a long time after. I think this might be risky, but I think we're gonna do one more roll for SPOOKOPLATHON and try to finish one more book today. I'm the worst. Why do I do this? Yeah, I do. It's early still. It's only 1 p.m., so we have the whole night ahead of us, and if we can roll for a short book, I think we can do it. Really, really hoping it's one that we can use to read a short book, because I only have one more day until Vampathon. So let's see if the board is feeling like being nice. I have my dice, and let's go ahead and roll. No, you can't have the dice. Okay, we got a 7, we got a 6, and that's the 1. Are you kidding? Are you actually kidding? Let me turn this around so you can see it better. The board really said, oh, you want a short book? You want a short book today? That is truly evil. So I believe Becca does have a rule that you can roll again, but then you have to do 2 books to fit the prompt. So I'm gonna take a chance and do that. And then hopefully it'll be a prompt that we can do today and then also bring into Vampathon next week. So yeah, let's roll again. Okay. And we got a 5, a 3 plus a 2. Okay, this could be good. This is the Seance Square, which I did get once before. And this one is you use a random letter generator, and whatever letter you get, you have to find a book that starts with that letter. We are using randomwordgenerator.com. I'm gonna hit it a few times just to like reset it. So 1, 2, 3. And now this next one is going to be the letter we are using. Please be a good one. Please. We need something short. Hopefully that I have the audiobook for. Okay, wait. This is so perfect. Are you kidding? So this doesn't work for an audiobook because I don't think I have the audiobook. I'll check if it's available. But what I do have is an arc of Guillotine by Delilah S. Dawson, and it's come out since then, but like really excited to read it, and it's a short one. So let me see if the audio is available, because then I can start it while working. Otherwise, I will just have to read it later tonight. Oh my God, Hoopla coming through for the win. They have the audiobook. That is so exciting. 5 hours long. Let's do this thing. Hi. So like no time has passed. I have listened to 17% of the book, chapter 5, and let me just tell you, I'm obsessed with this book. I'm calling it right now. This is going to be a 5-star, and I don't want to do anything else but sit here and listen to this book until I finish it. I'm loving it so much, and I think this is going to be exactly my kind of like revenge story, unhinged women, like bad people getting what they deserve. It's very much giving the movie Ready or Not vibe, so I'm so excited. Like, Delilah S. Dawson is gonna do it again. I'm obsessed with her book Bloom that I read earlier in the year? Last year? I think it must have been last year because I don't think I vlogged for it. So in this one, we are following a woman named Desi, and she is a very like poor college student. She's currently studying fashion, but she's made it very clear. Okay, no, we can't rub on the camera. She is currently studying fashion, but she's having a hard time. She keeps getting rejected from the job she's applying to. And one night she's at a bar and this really skeezy guy comes up to her and basically takes her phone and forces her to give him her number. But his mom is a famous fashion designer, so she kind of has an in. So she decides to text this guy and set up a date in the hopes that she can maybe coerce him into dating her for a little while and get him to introduce her to his family. And right away, I am so here for it. Like, absolutely, girl. This guy sounds like a complete loser, and the way he's like talking to her and talking about how he treats women, like, oh my god, take him for all he's worth. So her plan works, and she ends up getting an invite to their private island for Easter break. And right away, when they arrive on this island, like, the vibes are off. All of the staff on the island are forced to wear this like bright pink uniform, and they're not allowed to speak to any of the guests, and she has to sign like this big thick contract with like a non-disclosure agreement saying that like she won't post that she's there. Like, they literally take her cell phone, they go through her luggage and like take things. So that's where we are now, and I just can't wait to start getting into the gore. Absolutely 5 stars. Like, are you kidding? I love this book so much. I can't even like contain my thoughts right now. Like, I want to reread it immediately. That was such a good time. Like, what? Are you kidding? Okay, so coherent thoughts. What happened? It's definitely a story of revenge, which I love. And the bad people got what they deserved. Like, it was so satisfying. Delilah S. Dawson literally said, eat the rich. And it was ridiculous. So don't go into this thinking it's gonna be like a super serious, like profound, like the best book you've ever read. Like, it was a fun time, but like, that's all it was. It's like a big difference to The Devil in Silver. Like, and yes, this one did have to do with social commentary because it really was about like this super, super wealthy family that just thought they were invincible, thought that laws did not apply to them. And that's very real. But just the way it worked out and the way everything happened in the story, it was ridiculous. It was not believable, but I loved it. I'm here for it. I'm here for this kind of fantastical story of revenge because, like, wouldn't that be cool? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. There was a lot of murder in this story. So there was sort of a big reveal at the end about just the shady things this family was doing. It was so wild. Like, that, I could see people not liking that aspect of the story, but at that point, I was so in it. Like, I didn't care. You could tell me anything, and I would still have been enjoying it. But yeah, that was a little ridiculous, but the kills in this story were so good. Definitely super, super creative. Like, they weren't just your generic kills. They were really thought out ways to punish each individual family member, and as the family members were being killed, it was really one by one, and we were learning the bad things that they had done. Like, it was sort of revealed to us why they deserve this punishment, why they're going to be killed the way that they were, and 5 stars. It was so fun. It was so good. Yeah, this makes me really, really excited to pick up more from Delilah S. Dawson. I know I read and loved Bloom, and I know she has books that came out before, but I feel like I never really heard good things about them. So if you've read them, definitely let me know. Is her backlist worth checking out, or should I just kind of stick to her new releases? But Either way, I'm very excited to read more from her. So now that we've finished this last book, that does mean that we are going to close out this vlog. But before I close out this vlog, I am going to insert some B-roll footage of my Halloween costume. So our annual Halloween party is tomorrow. We always go all out, and dressing up for Halloween, I take it so seriously. So I put a lot of effort into our costumes this year. We are going as Lisa Frankenstein and the monster. I don't think he has a real name. We've just been calling him Cole Sprouse. So yeah, I don't believe I'm going to actually start my Vampathon vlog tomorrow just because I'm going to be busy. So I'm planning on starting it on Sunday, but I do want my Halloween costume like in the vlog. So yeah, I'm going to say goodbye, but like stick around for the B-roll because I'm very excited about how the costume turned out, and we're planning on going to a cemetery tomorrow to take some pictures just to kind of fit in with the vibe and themes of the movie. So if you did make it this far and you would like to leave me an emoji, please leave me the zombie emoji in honor of my Frankenstein Halloween costume this year. And as always, I hope you read a good book today, and I will see you soon in my next one. Bye.